Guys, Warmother's card got buffed this patch and now you get to play this card earlier into the game. The deck that I'm about to show you allows you to play this card at round 6 already. With the help of Warmother's call and the help of God, of course, I made it into Masters. Almost no one knows about this deck and you should be abusing it in order to climb before people notice it. Everything you need to know will be explained in a bit. Have fun climbing. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to this video. I just skyrocketed, as you can see, into Masters as a noob player. I call myself noob because Legends of Runeterra, I just played it the first season. When it came out, I played it. I made it into platinum, and then I was kind of, yeah, I was hard stock platinum. And then I left Legends of Runeterra and I came back this season, this very year, okay? And so that means I don't really know the cards, I don't know the decks, but I skyrocketed into Masters with this deck right here. I played different decks, like meta decks, but this one is not a meta deck, and it is, you can say, I'm not clickbaiting if I say it's hidden OP, because no one knows about this deck right now. Of course, after this video, maybe some people will pick it up and then people will be aware of this deck. But right now, as I'm talking to you guys, it's hidden OP. And I give you a promise, okay? Listen, guys, listen. I give you a promise right here. If you watch the whole thing till the end, because only then it makes sense, then I can promise you, you will climb. You will make progress. I can promise you that. 100% sure. You're not gonna win every game, of course. That's impossible, because there's still a little there's a little factor of luck in there to draw the right cards at the right moment, right? But you will win the most of your games and you will climb. This is the promise I can give you if you watch the whole video till the end, because I'll be leaving a lot of important information around that deck, and only then it will make some sense. So this is what I can promise you. And if this is not the case, guys, if you watch the whole thing and you still and you're losing game after game, come back to this video, give this video a dislike, comment below in the comment section, say it's scam. Okay? This is how sure I'm about this deck. Do you see that? Have you ever heard a YouTuber saying this? No. I'm saying this because I'm so sure about this deck. Okay, so bear with me till the end and you will climb. This is the promise I can give you, okay? All right, so I call this deck, as you can see, Badach. If you got a better deck name, man, let me know in the comments as well, man. But this is like slang. This is German slang, and it means like right in your face. If you slap someone, Badach, you slap someone and you say Badach, you get it right in your face. This is because this is the deck. This is like the nature of this deck. It will just slap you in your face. This is the thing behind that. Okay. In fact, the last 4 games before I reached Masters, the opponents just the last 4 games they just gave up after, like, I don't know, 7 rounds or something. Very early in the game they just gave up. Okay, and this is why I call it Badach, because right in your face and you have no choice to like give up. Okay. Now, guys, this will be a long video, and I wanna make it a long video so you understand everything, okay? Because I want you to climb, and for that you need all the important information. So invest this time, okay? Invest this time into this video and you will climb. I can promise you that, as I said at the beginning of the video, all right? Because as I said, I'm a noob. I don't even know the cards. I don't even know the decks, okay? If I play against an opponent, I don't know what they have in hand, and I still made it into Masters. Like, imagine if I like keep on playing this game now for the next year, and I get to know all the decks. Dude, I will be like, I don't know where I will be like, but you know what I'm saying, right? All right, so this is the deck right here, okay? and we're gonna go over it, and I will be explaining everything you need to know, okay? So the deck is all about this card over here, and they buffed it last patch, guys. They buffed this card last patch. It went from 12 mana to 11 mana. Warmother's Call, what it does is summon the top ally from your deck now and each round. So that means if you play this card, it's just gonna give you a super powerful card like She Who Wanders, like Vaudebear, like Tryndamere, like Round, okay, the Magma Serpent, just for free every round. So it's all about this card. And I played this deck before the buff happened. After the buff happened, it was even easier, okay? So we got this buff. This card is now sitting on 11 mana, which makes it really, really good. And you can play it so early into the game. This is why the opponent just gave up every time early into the game. And I'm going to tell you how you can play this early into the game. You don't have to wait for, well, 11 mana, right? Okay, so this is all about. This is why I'm saying you got to bear with me till the end. So as I said, the whole deck is about Warmother's Call. Am I recording, everybody? Yes, I do. Okay. Alright, so it's all about that. You want to survive. You want to survive till you can play this card. Okay? And you have a lot of options to survive till this card. And one thing I want to say here is this deck is actually right now in the current meta so good because it beats all the meta decks. Right here on my second screen, I got the meta decks. Okay, and I'm seeing Teemo Yumi, the Power King, Gwen Zed, the Power King. Okay, I got it right here on my second screen, and you with that deck, with Badach deck, you beat all the meta decks because they have low power and low health. All these decks combined. Okay, and this deck kills them all. This is so good into this deck. This deck is so good, for example, into the Galio deck with all the formidable. I think this is how you pronounce it, right? Let me show you what I'm talking about. It's so good against these kind of cards. Where is it? Hold on. It's so good against these cards over here. 0-2. I'm gonna tell you in a bit why, okay? It's so good into this deck against Galio, okay? Volibear Galio deck is also a very, very strong deck that I used to play and got a lot of points with it. It's so good into that. It's actually a counter deck, I would say, even, okay? I'm gonna show you now why. So you have, as you can see from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 rows filled. Look at this. 10 rows filled with spells. And this is gonna help you to survive until you can play Warmother's Call. Okay? And we're gonna go over all these cards, alright? So you have this one for 1 mana. Look at that. Kill a unit with total power and health of 4 or less, or destroy a unit's equipment. So you can, right here for 1 mana, you can destroy, for example, a formidable card from Galio, which is 1 mana. You can kill so many cards with this card already, because kill a unit with total power and health of 4. All the early cards are very weak, so you can like go ahead and just drop it on the enemy and just kill it right away. Also, for all the other decks like Jax and Ornn that likes to equip a lot, okay, you can destroy. This is why it's so good. You can also destroy the equipment. Okay, if someone buffs the card with an equipment, you can just destroy it for 1 mana. Okay, then we have this card, which I really like, is another powerful card. Kill a follower with 3 or less power. So you can kill a follower with 3 or less power. And again, in the early, if they play these cards, look at this. For example, look at this. You can kill Lucian, you can kill Wayne, you can kill a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So either you can kill a follower, or you can go ahead and spend 3 mana instead of 2. It's still not a lot to kill a champion with 3 or less power. So you can see already it's really easy to survive until Warmother's call, just because of these two cards over here. So then we have Flash Freeze, just in case you cannot kill any one of them. Because I don't know, they buffed them, or I don't know, they have more than 3 power. You can go ahead and freeze them. Once you did this, and now the combo is really important, you can freeze someone, which means they will have 0 power, and then you can go ahead, play Soul Harvest and kill it, because it says kill a follower with 3 or less. And if you freeze someone and it has 0 power, you can go ahead and Soul Harvest them, kill them with this card. So this is the first combo I want to show you here, okay? There will be a lot of combos, but this is the first combo here. There is a key combo that I will tell you after I went through all the cards, okay? So this is why I said it's really important to bear with me until the end of the video. So this is the first one, okay? The first combo. Flash freeze someone, kill it with Soul Harvest if it has more than 3 power. Right there. So then we have Winter's Touch. This will give you an empty mana gem, and this will help you to play Warmother's Call early into the game. All right, I'm gonna speak about that in a bit. Let me just go through the other cards. This is a really important card. This is why I have it 3 times into the deck, and I will be talking about this card in a bit. Okay, so then we have Eradication. It says kill all units with 3 or less power. So imagine your bench will be empty and the enemy is building up his bench to attack. You play this card and you just empty his bench. You kill all his cards with just 1 card. And I cannot tell you how great it feels, especially against the Galio deck. Like, these poor people, man, they build up the bench with all the formidables, right? This one, and he's like, I'm gonna hit him hard, man. He's like building up his bench with this, you know. I don't even know the names. I told you, man, I'm a noob. I don't even know the cards. He's building up the bench and he's about to attack me. And then you go ahead and do this. Boom. Badach. You just slap him right in his face. Badach. There you go. His bench empty. And you go, what just happened? And a lot of people, I can tell you, they just tilted and gave up after that. Have it 2 times in my deck. I will have it 3 times in my deck. I don't have it 3 times in my deck because I don't got the money to buy it. Okay? I'm new to the game, I told you. I gotta wait until I save up. Look at over here, 498. So I gotta wait until I can like buy another one of that. So then we have Grasp of the Undying, which will heal your Nexus. As I said, the whole idea is to survive until you can play the Warmother's Call. And you can kill a unit with that if you drain 3 from it. If it only has 3, you can kill it with that. Otherwise, you just heal your Nexus, which is really good because you need to stay alive. So then we have this, just in case you can kill no one. It's impossible because they are super buffed. For example, if you play against Deep deck, Frostbite is there to help you. It will Frostbite 2 enemies. And again, you can go ahead and kill it. Okay, let's say someone attacks you with 6/6, 2 cards, 6/6, 1 card, 9/9. What do? You can do nothing. You cannot kill it because it's above 3. You go ahead, play this card, boom, into this card, Soul Harvest. So this is kind of the same combo, it's the same mechanic over here, right? You freeze someone. It doesn't matter if you do it with this one or with this one, right? With Harsh Winds or Flash Freeze. The combo is the same. You then soul harvest the card that you just flash freezed or harsh wind, and you can then kill it if it has more than 3 power, right? So this is how you still can kill powerful cards, even though. So you can see until now, I got until here, right? You can see, note that you can kill weak cards very easy. But also, I want you to notice that you can kill strong cards very easy, okay? So it's not that hard to stay alive, okay? It's not that hard. So then we're gonna continue with this one. This is also a very, 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 very important card. And I will be talking about this in a bit, okay? Get an empty mana gem, summon a feral mystic. We absolutely don't care about the feral mystic. That's not the point here. The point here is get an empty mana gem. Why is that so important, Beastmaster 64? I will be talking about that in a bit, okay? So then next card, Piercing Darkness. You can see drain 5 from a unit. This will heal your Nexus 5 points, which is really good. And you can kill with that. You can kill with that a unit. Okay, so again, you can see it's very easy to stay alive. And also get rid of strong cards, enemy cards. We have Vengeance in there. I don't know if you pronounce it this way. Kill a unit. Okay, so if there is a champion that can be not killed with our combo, with our freeze harvest combo, you can go ahead and do this Vengeance. And I can tell you that. I can tell you the following. Dude, if you if you have these cards at the beginning, okay, let's say you have Soul Harvest, let's say you have Eradication, let's say you have Vengeance, I don't know how to pronounce that. Let's say you have these 3 cards at the beginning, at the very beginning. Do you know how tilting it is if someone uses these cards on you and destroy your cards that you are just building up every time you're building up your bench, and then someone just goes ahead and plays these cards and just destroy your bench and empty your bench? You know how tilting this is. But this is the whole point behind the badach, okay? And as I said, the very last few games that I had before I reached Masters, they just gave up because of that. Just because of that. I don't even got to the point to play Warmother's Call. In fact, the very last 2 games before I got into Masters, I didn't even play this card, man. They just tilted because of these 3 cards: Soul Harvest, Eradication, and Vengeance. I just killed them like that, and they just tilted and they just gave up. Alright? So it's really, really funny. So then our spells end over here, and we got the first, how do I call that? Card that can attack and block. Run the Magma Serpent right there to, first of all, to block. And if you got the chance to attack with it, then you'd go for it. But the whole purpose is, again, stay alive till you play this. So this means we use this card to block, actually. Okay? And again, if you have the chance to attack, we attack. This also will spawn the Sigil of the Storm, which means you can play Volibear earlier. You can play She Who Wanders earlier. And Tryndamere earlier. So we take those. Then we have the first champion, which is Tryndamere. Also a good card in that. Got buffed in the recent patch. And the recent patch notes. It went up, I think it was 8 and 4. Now it's 8 and 6, which means he's not gonna die right away like it used to be. He can like go for an attack and maybe go for another attack and then level up. Before it was like he went for one attack and just leveled up after that. Now we have a little bit more survivability. And again, we use this card to block, or if we get the chance to attack, we go for attack. I got Ruination in here, which I'm not really sure about it. I think I will... I played it 1 or 2 times, But I had a lot of games where where I drew this card and I was like, I'm not gonna play it because I'm gonna lose my own Warmother's Call champions, you know. I have it in there, and I think I will get rid of it once I can afford eradication. So I think I will go to 3 on eradication and get rid out of this card over here. So I think this will be, I will be leaving this. I will be getting this out of the deck, right? Volibear is another champion that we have in there. And notice one thing, which is like Volibear and She Who Wonders. We have these 2 cards in there to, again, attack the bench of the enemy. Okay? With all these spells, we can already attack the enemy cards straight, directly. And with these 2 cards, again. So we have Volibear in there. Once we play it, he will deal 4 damage to 3 units. So this means you can again empty the bench. Okay? And then we have She Who Wonders. And look at this. If you play it, obliterate all units with 4 or less power in play and enhance. And enhance, guys. So every unit that you have in hand will also get obliterated. And I hope you can see why this card is so good, because in the current patch, in the current meta, they play a lot of weak cards. They have a lot of weak cards. Now imagine me playing this. I will just obliterate their hand. See why it's so good? And here comes round in the game, guys. With the summon 3 Sigils of the Storm, you get to play this very early with 7 mana. With 7 mana. You can play it right away. And this is really important. I will be talking about this in a bit, okay? How to play this card. And how to play the other card. And how to play this card, okay? Let's just finish this, going over that, and then I explain the whole mechanic behind that. So then we have finally Warmother's Call, okay? Warmother's Call. I don't have to say anything about that card. You know that card. Summon the top ally from your deck, and each round, we just talked about that in the early. It's all about that card, okay? Once you have it, you will spawn cards all the time, every round. So now that we went over the cards, let me tell you how to play this deck, okay? As I said a bit earlier, it's all about to survive until you get over here, okay? You have these spells to help you to survive till you get to Warmother's Call, alright? So I'm gonna talk now a little bit about how you play with the champions, alright? So we have Ron there, as I said, to summon 3 Sigils of the Storm, of course to block and to protect your Nexus, but also to summon 3 Sigils of the Storm. The thing is, if you have this is the first combo I want to talk about, okay? The first champion combo to talk about. If you have that, She Who Wonders will drop to 7 mana. I need you to play this card in the very early before they can buff anything. Especially against the Poro King. You want to prioritize that, okay? If the Poro King buffs his Poros, this card will be useless, okay? Because what it does is, if you play She Who Wonders will obliterate all the Poros out of the Poro King, out of the Poro King deck, and this is the whole idea behind that. You play Rond into a champion, the champion that you need, okay? Rond into Volibear if you need to attack the bench with the passive of Volibear, or if you have to get rid out of the cards of the enemy with the weak cards, you just play She Who Wonders, okay? So for example, if I see Teemo Yumi, I play this card, okay? I play Rond into this card. I destroy so many of his cards right away. Power King, same thing. Round into She Who Wonders. Alright? This is what you want to do. You can do Ron into this. You can do Ron into Volbear. Alright? So this is the first combo I wanted to show you here. The second combo, let's call it mechanic, okay? The second mechanic that I want to show you here is the mechanic to get this very early into the game. Here's the thing. And now I'm going to talk about these cards that I just mentioned earlier, how important they are. And I'm going to tell you now why these cards are so important. Winter's Touch and Wild Mysticism. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. Excuse me for that. Winter's Touch and these two cards. Okay. Get an empty mana gem means you will have more mana. Okay. The next round you will have more mana than the opponent. And this is why it's so important. So let's say you played this card, okay? You played this card, let's say, I don't know, round 4 you played this card, round 5 you will have more mana. You will have 6 mana instead of 5, okay? And so on. The more you play of this card, the more mana you will have. You will have always 1 mana more than the opponent. So let's say if you play it the first time, you will have 1 more mana more. You play the second time, 2 mana. And so on. The next one is this one. Get an empty mana gem and summon a blocker. I use this as a blocker, but get an empty mana gem again. So if you play this card as well, you will get another mana gem. So that leads to being able to play this card at, I think, if you have the 3 mana, I don't know how you call it, but the 3 mana below the mana bar, you know, if you have this up, you can play this card at like round 6 or so. Like, do you see how early you can play this card? You can play this card super early because of Winter's Touch and Wild, you know, Wild whatever. Because of that. Okay? You get to play this card. You get to play this card at round, let's say the first round, second round, third round. I think first round, 3 round. At round 3, you can already play this card, which means you will have an empty mana gem, which means you will at round 4 have 1 mana more. Okay, 5 mana. Do you see what I'm saying? So because of these cards, you will have a lot of mana in the early, and you get this, and you get to play this card very early into the game. Okay, this is what I'm trying to say. And here is what you want to look for at your opener. This is what at least I did. Okay, the opening. The opener, the first 4 cards that you get, you want to look for these cards. Okay? Replace all the cards until you get this card. And this card. Optimally, this card. Like, let's say if you get 3 of these cards, take it. Man, take it. Because, why is this better than the other card? Why is Wild better than Winter's Touch? Because you get a blocker as well. Okay, you have something to block the opponent if they try to attack your Nexus. So this is why it's so good. So ideally you want to look for this card in your opening, replace everything but this card or this card, and this will lead to Warmother's Call being able to play this game card in the very early. If I do, hold on, let me do the math, okay? Alright, I did the math for you guys. So as you can see over here, at round 6, is where you can play Warmother's Call already, if you do it correctly, if you do it like I did it over here. This is how I did my most games, and this is how I got into Masters, basically. This is the mechanic behind this deck that you need to keep in mind and play around, okay? So as I'm gonna go through it. Round 1, you will have 1 mana, right? Okay. Round 2, you will have 2 mana. So because of the first round, 1 mana left, you will have 3 mana in total, okay? So round 3, you will have 6 mana. So 3 from the second round plus 3 because of round 3 will give you 6 mana, guys. So we'll have 6 mana. If you get the card, you play here Wild Mysticism, which will drain 5 mana. So at the end of the round, you will have 1 mana in total left, okay? 1 mana left out of this round. At round 4, you will start with the 1 mana left over here. You will start with that, plus the empty gem that you get from this card over here, right? Plus 4 mana because of round 4 will give you in total 6 mana. So then you play the card Winter's Touch. You can also play Wild Mysticism. It doesn't matter because you will have 9 mana at round 5. So it doesn't really matter. I'm just saying, one of them you can play. Over here in my example, I have Winter's Touch. So you will have in total 6 mana at the beginning of round 4. And if you play the card Winter's Touch, it's -4. It will leave you with 2 mana in total at round 4. Okay. Round 5 means, round 5, you will start round 5 with 2 mana already because of round 4. Then you will get +2 empty gems because of Wild Mysticism and Winter's Touch. Okay, +2 empty gems. +5 mana because of round 5, which will lead into 9 mana in total. You can now play around with that 9 mana. I don't care what you do. If you want to attack the bench, you can do that. If you want to play another Wild Mysticism, you can do that. You can play another Winter's Touch, but you don't have to. You don't have to play now these cards, okay? It doesn't matter. You don't have to play them anymore. Because the earliest you can get Warmother's Call is round 6. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So you can play with these 9 mana around the way you wanna play around. You can attack the bench, you can play cards, you can play champions, whatever. The point is, you wanna end this round with 3 mana. Keep 3 mana. This is the thing. So you have 6 mana to play around, basically. Okay? Because you wanna have 3 mana. Because otherwise you cannot play it at round 6 and you have to wait for round 7. Round 6 starts with 3 mana that we have left from round 5. Then we have again 2 empty gems because of Wild Mysticism, right? Keep that in mind. Brings us plus the 6 mana because of round 6, which will be 3 plus 2 is 5 plus 6 is 11 mana in total. So at round 6 you will have 11 mana in total already, and you can play Warmother's Call and Badach. And Badach. Guys, that's right. This is how early you can play this. And this is how you want to play it, basically. This is like the ideally way how you want to play this deck. Alright? In some games you get to do this. In some games you have to stall for round 7 because you have to play another card over here, which will leave you with like 2 mana, not 3, but 2 mana at the end of the 5th round. So sometimes you have to stall a little bit for round 7, but it's very easy, as you can see, to play Warmother's Call at round 6 because of the buff. They reduced the mana from 12 to 11. Otherwise, you only could play it at round 11, what's called 7. Okay, this is the mechanic behind it. Okay. This is what you wanna keep in mind. And yeah, this is like how you wanna play this deck, guys. You have all these cards to protect your Nexus. You have also cards to tilt the enemy. And your plan is to play Warmother's Call very, very early into the game. Ideally round 6, if not round 7 maybe. But this is how you want to do it. You get the mechanic on how to kill cards with more power than 3. Frostbite them with flash freeze, harsh winds, boom, soul harvest them. You have the mechanic over here as well. You can combine that, harsh wind. Use harsh winds on 2 cards and then eradication if they have more power than 3. This is the mechanic here. Frostbite into eradication, or what's it called? Into eradication or harvest, soul harvest. You have also a lot of cards to heal your nexus. Piercing Dog, Grasp of the Undying, again to like kill opponents and heal yourself at the same time. You have another 3 cards over here to kill champions directly, or any any card that is threatening you. Okay. And you have this is basically another card that will again obliterate a lot of the enemy cards. And if you play round, this is like the next mechanic that I was speaking about, guys. Round into She Who Wonders, and it will kill a lot of the enemy's cards. And the point is to stay in game until Warmother's call until you can play this card. Basically, this is how you want to do it. All right, this is the deck. I reached masters with it, and if you made it until this point, guys, you can also make it. You can also climb. I don't know how far you can get with that. It still comes down a little bit to the player's performance and a little bit of luck to draw the cards at the right moment. But do it like this, and at the opening, look for Wild or Winter's Touch. Okay, look for these two cards. You need 2 of them at least, and then you can play it at round 6. All right, so at the opening you want to do this, and your game plan is this. And I just told you how to stay alive and shit. Okay, so if you do it like this, I can promise you will climb. Of course, as I said, there's a little bit of luck involved. So if you are unlucky, it is what it is. You cannot win every game. Yeah, I think this is clear. But in total, you will be climbing, guys, if you made it till this point of this video, till the end of this video. If you have any questions left, let me know in the comments, guys. I will be responding to it. If you want to see more of this deck, I will be uploading some gameplay footages for this deck, so you can see actually how to play this deck. Subscribe to the channel. You will be seeing more Legends of Runeterra on this channel, Beastmaster64. Support me with a subscribe. Also, if you could like this video, would mean the world to me, or share this video with other people. It will mean the world to me, guys. With that being said, have a wonderful day, and have fun climbing, have fun tilting the enemies. Peace.